Okay, so last time we did a makeup tutorial. This time we're doing another video that I did not expect to ever do on my channel. We're gonna be doing an unboxing. Now, I actually already opened this thing up, so I haven't actually gotten into it. I just opened it up to make sure it was all in there, because this was, you know, pretty expensive. It's a 7-foot tall clown animatronic from Spirit Halloween. Now, those of you who tune into my live streams a lot will know that Spirit Halloween is something that almost always comes up as a point of discussion at some point. So, I went this year, not even Halloween yet, but I decided to buy one of their animatronics. And this might have not been the best decision, but I went for the biggest one. Now, my goal is to reskin this and use it in the Halloween room this year, if I'm able to do that. I want to be able to do that, but who knows? It might be a bit too difficult, but we're gonna try to do that. So I guess, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into this. So like I said, I already cut the tape off and I've opened it up like this, but I haven't actually touched anything in here yet. I'm a little bit scared to, because like I said, I'm not used to spending this much money at once. So yeah. Okay, so the arms to this handsome lad were bent weird, probably from packaging. I had to actually rebend them into place, which I'm a little bit unhappy about, but what are you gonna do? That actually is why I was putting them on backwards initially. Because of the way they were bent, I thought the hands were actually screwed on to the wrong arms, and that would have been an easy fix. That wasn't the case though, and I found out that I had swapped them, thanks to the instructions. Okay, so here's the terrifying part. The instructions actually don't tell you how to set up the default, like, mechanisms to turn it on, or the wiring. I think I have it set up, but it hasn't freaking actually moved yet. There's a little adapter, or sensor in his mouth, I'm assuming that's what that is. And, I have everything plugged in. The speaker is making like a little whirring noise, and I hit the on switch, so I'm assuming it's on, but it's not moving. And I'm worried if I get too close to this thing, it's going to start moving. I am absolutely terrified right now. Okay, before I screw with it any further, I'm going to turn on the camera. I don't know, if this turns on while I'm in the middle of working on it, I think that's gonna be funny, or at least worth something. So, even though I'm probably gonna be in a lot of emotional pain. So here we go. There is the sticker that's supposed to tell me if it's set to step pad on or off is scratched up. I'll probably show a picture of it right now just so you guys know what I'm talking about. So I have no idea what exactly is going on with this. So I got the adapter plugged in, so I'm assuming that scared the ever-loving crap out of me. I heard my neighbor outside doing something with a shovel, and I thought the speaker was making that noise for a second. Okay, I'm assuming that in the center means off, and the left means step pad, and in the right means sensor. I had set it to step pad according to this hypothesis, which might have been why it didn't turn on earlier. But here we go. Oh. It's working. So the reason why there's no volume on right now, oh god, I need to move the hands a little bit. They're getting a bit in the way right there. It did what it's supposed to do. Now the tricky part is running in there and shutting it off before I get swiped by one of these hands. Got it. So speakers should be on now. I'm going to quickly just do this, just because that was bugging me a little bit, the way it kept bumping up against them. How do you do? God, this thing's terrifying. Why did I buy you? I'm gonna, I'll screw with the hair a little bit more later. I don't like how flimsily the hair is attached, by the way. There's a couple of gripes I have with this, but for the most part, I'm happy because I got it working. But yeah. It took way longer to laugh than I thought it would. It works! Okay, so before I end the video off, I wanted to go over a couple of things that I just kind of had in mind after unboxing this. So, I actually bought this animatronic in the store and brought it home. And honestly, this is probably one of my favorite clown animatronic Spirit has ever dropped. Which, you know, is probably why I liked it enough for it to be my first ever animatronic I bought from them. Now, there were a couple issues that I did have with it, and mostly it was because of like the packaging and stuff. He has a little shell on his back that, at least for mine, was deformed due to it being bent a little bit weird. It's not the worst thing because you can't really notice it since one, it's on his back, and two, even if his back is still a little deformed, I don't think anyone's going to mind since, you know, he's just a creepy hunched over clown. But I am still a little bit disappointed in that. On top of that, his arms were also misshapen when I got him out of the package. I don't know if that's par for the course, and, you know, that's just how he's packaged. But as you guys, you know, saw earlier, I was trying to put the wrong arms on because I assumed his hands were on backwards with the way they were bent. So I actually had to do a lot of like shaping to his arms, which is why they look a little bit different now. You might notice that I did move him out of my room, and that is because I have decided I won't be able to reskin him as something from Five Nights at Freddy's for my Halloween room this year. This is due to the fact that his sensor, which is located in his mouth, that is like molded into his head. So I can't pull that out without, you know, carving into the head, which is something I don't want to risk. Because I actually really do like how this looks default, like how it came, but, you know, I would have reskinned it and kept the pieces if I could. That way I could make it the clown later and use it for my Halloween room. So I ended up moving him out here since he's going to be taking up a lot of space in my room if I do keep him. So I think it's best for this. Another issue I had was his foot was actually cracked, or at least one of them, and that's mostly because the feet are probably the cheapest part of this animatronic. His feet are made of like the same kind of plastic you would get from like a little kid's Optimus Prime mask for Halloween. One of those cheap 2D ones made of like the really thin plastic. Imagine like two sheets of those stuck together, and you have what I would say is about the consistency his shoes are. Other than that, I really love how this animatronic looks. I love how it moves. Sorry about that. My camera battery died, which I didn't realize it was that low, so whoops. But the thing that I was kind of surprised to find was that he actually has a volume control, so I could control how loud or how quiet he is, which honestly is great because I was worried that if I wanted to reskin him, I'd have to like cut out his voice box, which I didn't want to do for, you know, obvious reasons, since this was an expensive animatronic and I do like how it is normally. So cutting out its voice box isn't exactly what I want to do. I'm able to mute it or like turn the volume down, which is, you know, what I did, which is why, you know, it was so much quieter. Another thing I was surprised about was to learn that his sensor wasn't motion based, it was actually infrared, which is kind of neat. I assumed it would have been motion based because that's what a lot of like props seem to be, but he, you know, because it's not motion based, he can actually see things in the dark, so if you're standing there in the dark, he's able to activate and stuff, which is kind of neat. The only issue I have with it is that right now he's placed underneath a vent, which kind of blows over him, which kind of screws with the sensor, so that's why he's not activating when I'm standing, you know, right here, not too far in front of him. But yeah, so other than that, I'd say I am very happy with how this turned out. I think it was worth the price. It was very cheap for what it is. It's massive. You could kind of see it's like almost scraping my ceiling. I'll have to do a size comparison of it next to me. But it is about the same height as my life-size puppet, which, again, the puppet's pretty tall too. So yeah, I love this thing. It's massive. It's not just like tall and lanky like some of the other clowns Spirit has put out. It's also like very wide, which I love. It's just very menacing to look at. But yeah, so anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!